Chapter 3: The Perfect Façade. The Romano clan's main country residence was bathed in the blinding light of crystal chandeliers and the heavy scent of white lilies. The enormous ballroom was packed to capacity. The entire criminal elite of the South had gathered there. Men in formal tuxedos, with hidden armor beneath the fabric. Women in jewelry, whose cost equaled the budgets of small towns. However, behind the disciplined grace and the clinking of champagne glasses, a scent of fear and nerves on edge hung in the air. Everyone awaited Beatrice's arrival. They awaited her defeat, her pitying glances, and Ezio's silent triumph. When the heavy carved doors swung open, the conversation in the hall not only died down, it was cut off, as if at the root. Beatrice entered the room, arm in arm with Gino. She wore a dress of deep, almost black silk, the color of thickening blood, revealing her collarbones and emphasizing her chiseled posture. But all eyes were focused, not on her, but on the man clutching her hand. Gino looked impeccable and deadly. The dark gray, custom-tailored suit fit his powerful frame with perfect precision. There was not a hint of fuss about him, only the calm, undeniable power of a predator who had accidentally wandered into a herd of purebred cattle. His fingers rested confidently on Beatrice's waist, drawing her a little closer than polite etiquette demanded, but just enough to demonstrate his absolute claim on this woman. "Stay confident," Gino said in her ear, barely audible, his breath barely audible. His lips practically brushed her skin, sending a searing pulse down her spine. "You're with me. Let them be silent." Ezio stood at the back of the room, dressed in a perfect white tuxedo, with his new bride from the Torres clan at his side. He froze, his jaw twitching, his glass trembled slightly in his hand. He expected to see a crushed, lonely woman, but instead saw Gino, the man whose very name had driven syndicate leaders to rewrite territorial boundaries. A painful, poisonous jealousy momentarily distorted his well-groomed face, washing away all the artificial grandeur of the wedding. Giovanni Romano slowly approached them. Beatrice's father cast a heavy, leaden gaze at his guest. The ring on his hand gleamed in the lamplight. "Gino," Giovanni said dryly, not hiding his surprise, "I didn't expect to see the leader of our rivals at a family celebration." "Times are changing, Giovanni," Gino replied calmly. His voice was low, velvety, and made everyone around him hang on every word. He squeezed Beatrice's waist a little tighter and looked at her with a dark, fanatical tenderness that took her breath away. "Beatrice no longer belongs to your old calculations. Her safety and her future are now my personal concern, and anyone who tries to challenge that will be in serious trouble." A barely audible whisper passed through the hall. The clan elders exchanged glances. In a second, Beatrice transformed from a rejected bride into a woman with the most dangerous man in the South at her back. The pity in the guests' eyes gave way to feverish respect and fear. Ezio couldn't bear it. Stepping forward, he tried to maintain a commanding tone. "Beatrice, this is some kind of mistake. You can't be with him. One more word for her, Ezio," Gino interrupted, not raising his voice, but his gray eyes gleamed with such an icy, primal threat that the ex-fiancé stopped mid-sentence, instinctively taking a step back. "And this wedding will be the last event you ever attend." The celebration continued, turning into a surreal dream for Beatrice. Gino played his role with terrifying perfection. He offered her his hand, caught her glances, whispered something in her ear, making the entire room believe in their wild, passionate connection. But Beatrice felt every inch of his body pressed against hers. His touch wasn't harsh, but it carried a steely, inhuman grip. This wasn't just an act. Behind this facade of concern lurked something hungry, dangerous, and utterly uncontrollable. Late that night, when they finally left the estate and went up to their assigned guest quarters, the heavy oak door closed, cutting off the sounds of the celebration. Alone, Beatrice immediately tried to pull away, taking a step back to regain some distance. "Thank you. You played perfectly. My father is broken, and Ezio is destroyed. That's our deal." She didn't have time to finish. Gino caught her wrist, slowly, without roughness, but leaving no chance for escape. He pulled her toward him, pressing her back against the cold wall next to the door. His shadow completely covered her. "Played?" he asked, leaning so close to her face that Beatrice felt the heat of his breath. His gray eyes seemed pitch black in the dim light of the room. Do you think I came here to play, Beatrice? Gino, let go. Her voice wavered, revealing the panic seeping through the facade. We agreed. It was just a show for the clan. The show ended downstairs. His free hand rose, and the hot pads